I need everybody to meet me on the tour. I need the black women, I need the white women, and I need the black men. This is some seriously real shit that I am utterly disturbed by, and I am just tired because I don't understand why there's this major attack on black women. So this video, if it goes into a part two, not a problem. I'm about to round it up. I was in the barbershop today, and it was a young black male come in here. He might have been between that 22 to 24 age group. Very handsome, very, very handsome. So I believe he's might have just been coming back from college or graduating or whatever the case may be, because they were happy to see him when he came in. So he sits down, and so they're just talking, what's going on? He's giving an update. He's graduated, he's got an engineering degree. Oh my God, I'm over there on the proudness. I'm in the background, I don't know him. I'm just kind of sitting down, listening to what he's saying. So the barber begins to get filled in on him. What's been going on? This and that. He says, I'm coming back, I'm getting married. So everybody, great. And I'm so on the side being so nosy and over there like a proud auntie. I don't even know this young man, right? So they start to kind of converse amongst each other, and they're talking. And so the young man says, yeah, I'm having a little problem. It's a lot going on because I'm marrying a white woman. And my family, they're not too happy about it. So the barber and everybody was like, oh, well, to each his own and this, that, and the other. So the barber was just kind of speaking to him, and he said, hey, what, where'd you meet her? And I met her in college. And he was like, oh, okay, because, back in the day, you had all the girls. What made you decide that she was the one? Like, what made you want to marry the white girl?
Now, this is a topic that is triggering to a lot of my sisters out there, right? And I don't know how this video is going to go, but somebody that went to 2 PWIs, not on purpose, it just so happened to be that way. One being a very big D1 SEC PWI, you tend to see this often, right? You tend to see this often, and this has nothing to do with the whites or the blacks, but whenever we see a white woman connect with a black man, and let's just say athletes, for example, because I was an athlete. The football players, it's true, yeah, a lot of snow bunnies. Had a lot of snow bunnies in 650 Lincoln. For the ones that know, they know. And that's just what it was, right? But something about black women seeing their men with a white woman just rips them to their core. Just rips them to their core. But I ultimately believe it has to do with what that black man probably saw growing up and realized that that's not something he wanted for himself. Let's continue, though.
Or the white woman. No, with no disrespect. So what this young man said after that is what just literally took me out the game. As a black woman, as a black mom, in general. So he says that, he come from, of course, the hood and had a hard knock life, just with one mom and no dad, and that same shit. Like, don't nobody I hate the fact that that is such a stereotype. We hate it too. But, so he goes off to say that when he went to college, it was a college that was mixed, but more so of a white college. And he start, meeting up with white friends, and, they introduced him to another whole world that he didn't know existed, And the young girl, she became a friend and then introduced him to their family. And when he goes over there, they're all married. The parents is married, and they have a really good home, and they do things together, and they communicate. It's just a good energy, a good vibe. And this man said, I never knew this side of life. My life was loud and always disruptive.
That's what I just said. Now, this completely threw me off, right? I'm thinking she was about to go completely left field with it, but that's a valid point. I hate to say it, but and let's get this straight too. Statistically, 80% of black men marry black women. So this ain't something that's just across the board, right? Majority of African American men marry African American women. But like she said, when you grow up in an environment where you didn't see your daddy in the house, or you grow up in an environment where, fighting was considered normal, especially domestic violence. Domestic violence. Let's keep it all the way 100 in this community. Let's keep it 100. When you see that growing up, and then you get a little bit of taste of what is actually normal. Yeah, it clouds your judgment on thinking that one set of race is possible of doing that. It's possible of having peace. One set of race is possible to be supportive, right? Because this is the thing too when it comes to the athletes. And even if you're not an athlete, more white women, I hate to say it, in other cultures believe in their men before their men makes it to the finish line than black women. It's just is what it is. I see it all the time. Whether I'm looking at TikTok, YouTube, reaction videos, a lot of black women want their men to be polished, already tied up with a nice bow on it. And they want to see them at the finish line. It's rare if people want to build with each other anymore. It is rare. It is super, super rare. Meanwhile, you have these other races that's saying, hey, I'll build with you. I'll build with you. And little do people know they was right with them when they didn't have nothing, or they was nothing at all. When their net worth was zero. Their net worth was zero. So
the young man said, he would go over there, they would go on vacations, they would have Sunday dinners. When they had cookouts, there was no fussing, no fight, no arguing. It was just all love and vacations. I was thrown at what this young man was saying in regards to what he seen and what he witnessed being with this young lady and this new side of life. And so he said that, when he seen it, he started thinking about all of the chaos that his life was. It was always baby mama drama and fussing and fighting, and they'll get together as a family and it'll be a fight, and the drunk uncles, the drunk mamas, he was like, my aunt and uncles, they all on welfare and always scheming and always fussing and fighting, cussing, trying to hook up with this dude and that dude, and it's just all these black women, just all that seemed like that's all I was raised up under, that's all I seen. That's all I know. And then I get to the white woman and it's different. And what he said after this is what really broke me. He said, it's like when I came home the last time, he said, and I was in my family's event. It was nothing but chaos. He said the women, they in house shoes and bonnets, they ghetto acting. He said, and I love them, but I don't love it. And he said, being with my white girlfriend, fiance, and her family, he said, you know what it's like? And this is what got me, ladies. He said, it's like if you're in a crowded room and you're surrounded by chaos and just everything is just chaotic and noisy and loud and disruptive, and you take some headphones and you put the headphones on and you can drown everything out, because when you put the headphones on, it's quiet and it's peace. He said, that's what my fiance is to me and her white family. That whiteness, he said, they're my headphones and they are my peace.
Shout out to that young man. I hope you have an everlasting marriage. You found exactly what every man needs. They need peace. Sorry for the upbringing, because ultimately that gave him a negative notation of his own kind, his own race. But ultimately, it's not even a race thing at the end of the day. Whether you're white, black, Indian, purple, green, silver, you like who you like, you love who you love, be with who you're going to be with, because ultimately, like I always preach, the Bible says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. It didn't say anything about a color, it didn't say anything about a race. As far as his family, shame on his family for being such a negative example of what love isn't what life shouldn't be, which ultimately ran that young gentleman away, it seemed like, from his own kind, from his own people, and what he genuinely could have had, right? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I appreciate you guys. Y'all like, comment, subscribe if y'all like the video. Now I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.